Hello, today we're going to create a life cycle assessment for organic carrot farming. The goal of this tutorial is to explain how to create a typical life cycle assessment based on the case study that was provided in the memo, along with the pre-work for the session. This is not a real LCA, only a simulated example, so many of the portions are going to be missing due to timeframes. The first thing we're going to do is open our LCA software and make sure that you have the Agribaleace database loaded into the navigational pane over here. If all these things aren't here, simply double click on it and it will open it up. The next thing we want to do is also make sure that the impact assessment section was properly loaded. So we're going to click the little arrow next to impact assessment, and here you can see we have the open LCA, LCA-IA methods that you should have added in the pre-work for this tutorial. Now that we have both of the things we need, we can get ready to get started. Today, I'm going to show you how to build the organic carrot production model. If you want, you can go further after the tutorial and build a conventional carrot production model based on the tables that were given to you in the pre-work. So in order to get started, we need to create a new folder called Flows, in the Flows called Organic Conventional Production. So we're going to simply right-click on our folder for Flows, and we're not adding a new flow yet, we're creating a new category, so we're going to click on Add New Child Category. In the pop-up menu, we're going to name this Organic versus Conventional Carrot Production. And we're simply going to click OK. As you can see, the Flows opens up, and here we have added our new folder that we're going to be working in. We need to create these folders under Processes, Product Systems, and Projects so that we can keep this all together. So we're going to right-click on Processes, and we're going to add a new child category. And again, we're simply going to write Organic versus Conventional Carrot Production. And we just want to make sure that we have a folder added. We could close that up, and we're going to right-click on Product Systems, add a new category, and Organic versus Conventional Carrot Production. Basically, right now, we're just setting up the system. And you can see it's here. We have one more to do under Projects, and we're going to add a new category called, again, Organic versus Conventional Carrot Production. Now that we have all of our things, we need to create a new flow. So here we're going to right-click, and this time we're going to pick a new flow. In here, we're going to call our new flow carrots because in the end, we want to have some carrots. And over here for flow type, we want to use product because carrots are the end product, and we're going to measure them in mass. So we need to go down until we find mass, and then we can finish up. We can leave this open, and now we need to create a new process. So we're going to create a new process by clicking on and we're going to name this process Organic Carrots. Now, when you go ahead and you do the conventional carrot model, you'll name it Conventional Carrots. Here we want to have a quantitative reference of the flow that we had earlier. So we're going to type in carrots, and there it is. And we're going to finish that up. Now that we have this in here, we have to add the inputs and the outputs that are going to go into the system, the life cycle assessment. So up here is where you add your inputs, and down here is where you add your outputs. In order to add an input, you would simply click on the Create New. And we're going to use our table that we found for organic carrot inputs. And we're not going to do all of them for the sake of time. We're just going to add some compost, some land, and some carrot seeds. So the first thing we need to do is find what we're looking for to add our compost. So we're going to go to agricultural means, and we're going to open that up. And then we're going to go to organic fertilizer. Again, this system was made in Europe, so they spell things differently here. And we're going to just click on our compost, and we're going to add it. As you can see, it comes into our flow, and it's going to measure it in mass. So you can change how you measure it by clicking on any of these things, but we're going to change simply the amount from 1 to 2. So I basically just right-click on here and type in the number 2. Whoops. Okay, and then I hit enter. So now it says I have 2 kilograms of compost. The next thing we're going to add is some land. We need to have some farming land. So here we can go into elementary flows, and we're going to go to resources, and we're going to pick land. So for this one, we're going to pick occupation arable organic land because we're doing some organic farming. Right here. And we're going to add this in. Here you can see that they're going to measure it by area and time, mass squared times the area. We're going to change our amount though, and our amount is going to be 0.000286. And this is just something that I found when I was doing some research to add in here. Finally, the last input that we're going to add is we need some carrot seeds. So we're going to go to the agrobales, and we're going to go to plant production, and we're going to go to vegetables. And here we have conventional carrot seeds and organic carrot seeds, but we're going to go to the ones at the farm gate because we do not live in Lower Normandy. So we're going to go there. Now we have added 3 basic inputs of the things we need. Of course, if you had more things like on the table and you had more time, you could add all of those in. And now we need to add some outputs. What's going to come out? Well, we already have the carrots coming out, but sometimes when you're doing some farming, other things come out of the soil. And so we're going to just add an output of phosphates. So let's go to our add button, and we're going to go to elementary flows. We're going to go to water, and here we're going to pick groundwater. And we're going to just say that there's some phosphates. So we're going to scroll down until the phosphates. Thank God this is alphabetized. And click phosphates. Now for our phosphates, we don't have 1 kilogram of phosphates. So we're going to change it again. And this time we're going to put 00012 and click enter. Let's add one more output as nitrates. So we're going to do that again. We're going to go to elementary flows. We're going to go to water, groundwater, and then we're just going to look for some nitrates. And we want to change how much we want, so we're going to put, according to the table, 0.566. Enter. All right, so since we've added all our inputs and outputs and we're pretty far along, we might want to just save our project, and then we can close out our processes, and we're going to go to our new product system, which is right here, and we're going to create a new product system, and it's going to be called organic carrots. And our reference process is going to be organic carrots. And here you always want to make sure that the add connected processes and connect with system processes if possible. You always want those to be checked. And now we're going to finish. The reason we want these to be checked is so that they'll connect with the upstream chains that we're creating. Now that we have our new product system created, we can actually look at some results. So in order to do that, you're going to click Calculate, and you want to make sure that you have your CML selected. You can do either baseline or non-baseline. We'll go with non-baseline. And over here, you can check these for different things. We're going to check analysis. And here we go. Now we have some data that we can work with and manipulate to see what's going on based on the amounts of inputs and outputs and the types that we have. We can search through each of these things and get some results. Here is how it's going to, each thing is going to be impacting climate change based on our inputs and outputs. Here you can see they have carbon dioxide emissions. Other things you can look at for this is inventory results. You can look at the LCIA results, process contributions. All these things down here are different things that you can manipulate to use for data and presentations. Also, in case you didn't notice, if you want, right here, you could click this button and simply export everything into Excel so that you can manipulate your data in a more comfortable way. Most of us know how to use that better. So if you want, you can go back and do the same thing, again, repeating the same steps, but instead of doing organic, use the conventional carrot production table and insert some more inputs and outputs. When you're done, you'll be able to have an opportunity to compare and contrast both of the organic and conventional method output results.